3, 2, 1.
Good morning. Our service is now beginning. For our prelude, let's join the choir in singing number 149 in the Gray Hymnal, Lift Every Voice and Sing. It started out being called the Negro National Anthem. Now it's the Black National Anthem. So I think we should stand for the national anthem.
Absolutely.
Thank you, choir. Thank you to James Weldon Johnson. Welcome, everyone, to the Berkeley Fellowship of Unitarian Universalists. And a special welcome to our friends who are on Zoom or any other means of being with us. We are part of a free religious tradition that honors the loving heart, the open mind, and growing together within the beloved community. Please silence your cell phones. Our fellowship stands on land that is today called Berkeley, California, located in the unceded territory of the Ohlone people. We honor them today and always for their wisdom and their resilience. So one quick note, please do not record any part of this service BFUU records it, and the sermons are posted on the website. And now, Alan Viola will give us our opening words.
Soon, this year's Black History Month will come to a close. Black history has been the theme of several services at BFUU this month, as well as one presentation at our History Club. While February is almost over, we recognize that Black history is American history. I hope that we will all keep the lessons we learned this year, this month, in mind for the coming year. The commemoration of Black history in the United States began nearly 100 years ago under the guidance of historian Carter Woodson, who founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, now called the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, in 1915, 50 years after the abolition of slavery. He aimed to raise awareness of Black history and to share the work that he and other Black intellectuals had been doing for decades. And in 1926, 99 years ago now, he announced the first ever Negro History Week. Since then, the celebration of Black history has evolved from a week to a full month as Black people, with the support of allies, continued to press for their rightful place in American society. Today, Black History Month pays tribute to more than 400 years of Black history in America and honors the countless contributions of African Americans in their struggles for freedom and equality. Between book bannings, attacks on school curricula, and attempts to silence voices advocating for racial justice, Black History Month is needed now more than ever. When popular culture recognizes Black people's accomplishments, it often oversimplifies their stories. Today, we'll take some time to tell the complex story of Rosa Parks. Her work has many lessons to teach us today, and I hope that her story can be an inspiration for everyone fighting towards liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Alan. So now is the time for lighting of our chalice. For the people at home, please light your own chalice or candles. And while we light the communal chalice here for all of us, a symbol of our tradition and a spirit that lives within every one of us. Please read with me our unison chalice lighting, which can be found in your order of service. Let love be the spirit of this congregation and service its goal. This is our living covenant to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in life, and to help one another. And then we light our red candle, continue reading, to mourn Black lives taken by police and state violence, to proclaim that Black lives matter, and to express our commitment to Black liberation, reparations, and the end of slave capitalism. Now, please join the choir in singing hymn 1026 from the Teal Hymnal, If Every Woman in the World. Thank you, choir. Now's the time for our meditation. In a moment, I will sound a chime to lead us into our time of silent meditation. Please get comfortable and follow your breath to your inner stillness. I will ring the chime a second time at the end of 2 minutes. The ritual of joys and sorrows is a time for each of us to share what is in our hearts this week and to ask for community prayers and support. Each week, we lay out a book over there that you are welcome to write in about your joys and sorrows. And I will now read from the book. James, a new person here, a visitor to the service. He's been in this space many times for community events. Writes, pray that we all can keep centered during these horrible times. May we still find our joys. May we still find our peace. And I wrote, welcome to Lynn Burnett, who has a gift for rescuing history from dry, boring facts and making it uplifting and a lesson in how to work together for a better world. Now is the time we say aloud the names of any and all that we want to send support and loving energy to. Now we move on to the silent part of our morning ritual. It's the healing ritual with water and stones. For anything that is in our heart that we wish to bring into community, but is perhaps too sensitive to speak aloud, we have a symbolic action that you can take. You can walk down the center aisle, choose a stone or stones, and immerse it in the water, which represents our community. for all that we have shared and for all that we will share in our ongoing lives together. May we be grateful. I notice I left out an element of the service, which may be confusing. I skipped right over the responsive reading, which is number 584 from the back of the gray hymnal. So we will backtrack and pick that up. The title is The Network of Mutuality, and it comes from Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. There are some things in our social system to which all of us ought to be maladjusted. We must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. Before it is too late, we must narrow the gaping chasm between our proclamations of peace and our lowly deeds, which precipitate and perpetuate war. We must pursue peaceful ends through peaceful means. And now we come to the metta meditation, which comes from the Buddhist tradition of cultivating compassion and loving kindness. Virginia will lead us in singing. Thank you, Virginia. Now, Tom Rutterow will bring us an original composition, Towards a New World. You may join in. The words of the chorus are in the order of service.
All right, and this song comes from a dream that I had one night. I was looking in a house for a person. I have no idea who that person was, but I was looking for a person. And I got up to the second floor into a room, and across the room was a door that I noticed was open a crack. So I walked up to the door, and I noticed there was a telephone line going into the door. And I pushed it open, expecting to see this person, and there were two people lying on the floor, dead, blood everywhere. And I looked at the one man, and it was Martin Luther King. And I looked over at the other one, and it was Malcolm X. And then I woke up. And fortunately, I was taking a dream class with Jeremy Taylor at the time, and so he instructed us to go back into the dream. So I went back into the dream, and I noticed the telephone line. I'm like, oh, there's a call coming in, but if one or two people take the call, they get shot down. The call's not coming in for one or two people, it's coming in for all of us to stand up and say no. And the chorus, Please Sing Along, is attributed to Martin Luther King. It's an experience he had late one night early in his participation in the civil rights movement, where he was despairing and nothing's going right. His family's being threatened. And it was late at night. He was sitting in the kitchen. It's called the coffee cup experience. Sitting there with a coffee cup, praying in despair, and he felt the divine presence saying, "No, you're doing right. Keep moving forward toward a new world." So please sing along. And there's a chant in here. Chant away, because Martin Luther was, besides his civil rights stuff, I think the thing that got him assassinated was his anti-war work. And so please sing along. The world we see is just a dream. We all make it what it seems. See our prophets lying dead, or a world of love instead. The King and Malcolm heard the call. Tell me why they had to fall. It's not too late, don't hesitate. It's a message for us all. All right, sing along, here we go. Oh, have no fear, I'm always here. In you I will abide. Your reward is on board divine will. Against what's wrong, stand tall and strong. I'll be there by your side. Move forward and toward a new world. Action out of nonviolence, nonviolence out of strength, strength out of community. Our unity experience will be shutting down the Pentagon with only God to depend upon. Letting go of hate, all emancipate the message that we send as one. Oh, have no fear, I'm always here. In you I will abide. Your reward is on board divine will. Against what's wrong, stand tall and strong. I'll be there by your side. Move forward and toward a new world. Chant one for Martin. We won't make war no more. 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 We won't make war. Take it up. Oh, we won't make war no more. 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 We won't make war anymore. All right, Andy, come on. Declaring peaceful war on war, refusing to tolerate greed. The leaders speak for us no more. It's the one spirit that we heed. Oh, no more sitting on the fence. We must get down into the trench. We must accept our fate if we don't agitate, hand in hand with fists unclenched. Oh, have no fear, I'm always here. In you I will abide. And I forgot the brand new upside down beat band, Jeff and Margaret and a couple other people. Our little debut.
This is the time for another reading, and it's going to be a collective reading, which we're calling Rosa Speaks. We copied out a dozen or so quotations from Rosa Parks, and we have encouraged people to pick them up, and Christine will assist your reading with a handheld mic. So who wants to go first?
One second.
Someone up here.
My act of defiance was not planned, but it was the right time and the right place.
I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, it diminishes fear.
Sometimes it is necessary to take a stand and say, enough is enough.
I would like to be remembered as a person who wanted to be free, so other people would also be free.
You must never be fearful about what you are doing when it is right.
I am humbled and grateful to have played a role in the civil rights movement.
At the time I was arrested, I had no idea it would turn into this. It was just a day, like any other day. The only thing that made it significant was that the masses of the people joined in.
I believe we are here on planet Earth to live, grow up, and do what we can to make this world a better place for all people to enjoy freedom.
To bring about change, you must not be afraid to take the first step. We will fail only when we fail to try.
The struggle for civil rights was not easy, but it was worth it.
People always say that I gave up my seat because I was tired, but that isn't true. I was not tired physically. No, the only thing I was tired of was giving in.
Is there any more?
We still have a long way to go, and we have to continue our work.
Anybody else need the mic?
Okay, so our guest speaker today is Lynn Burnett. He earned a master's degree in history education and taught high school history in Oakland. As a teacher, he wanted to go beyond teaching students the facts of history and sought to empower them to think about questions that were important to their lives. He began to find it difficult to find materials that he was satisfied with for his students. He started doing his own research and composing histories that would ignite their interest. He sought to make inspiring historical figures relatable by portraying their growing up process and their emotional lives. Eventually, he went beyond classroom teaching and now writes and does community organizing through the Cross-Cultural Solidarity Committee. Today, he will offer us a vision of Rosa Parks as a radical thinker, mentor, and long-haul organizer who did profound work long before the Montgomery bus boycott and long after. Her dynamic legacy is rich with lessons that can inspire us today and help us chart the path forward during these difficult times. Lynn.
Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? I feel so grateful to be here right now. And Joanne, I want to thank you especially for inviting me to be here with you all. And I want to say that it's a special honor to be invited to share some thoughts about such a profound freedom fighter. I'd like to begin by singing a freedom song together. And this is a song that Rosa Parks would have known well. And I'd like to invite her spirit into this space, first by singing it to you, and then by inviting all of us to sing together. I also want to invite you to feel into the deep roots of this song as we sing, to feel the lives of the elders and the ancestors whose shoulders we stand on, and who sang this song even as they faced seemingly insurmountable odds. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I want to invite everyone to rise. Let's sing it all once together. 1, 2, 3. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you all so much in joining for that. I invite you to take your seats. And as you do, I invite you to close your eyes and just be with the feeling of that song in your body. Let's just be quiet and breathe together for a minute. Letting your breath be soft and slow and deep. Breathe in the power of song to bind us together in community. Breathe in the power of song to give us strength and courage. Breathe in the power of song to help us face whatever it is that must be faced in this time to come. I invite you to keep your eyes closed and to imagine the following scene. You are in a secret meeting in the middle of the night with a tightly knit group of friends and comrades. It's the 1940s in the Jim Crow South. As you all know, Jim Crow was an authoritarian police state, one that Hitler praised in Mein Kampf and the Nazi legal scholars thoroughly studied as they built the Third Reich. And you are meeting to overthrow that system. You are risking your life simply by being in this meeting. You all know that the Klan could attack at any minute, and yet you still choose to be here. Now, the host of this gathering approaches the table. Someone whose courage commands the respect of everyone present. Her name is Rosa Parks. She later writes of this moment in her autobiography. The table was so covered with guns, I just didn't know where I could possibly put the refreshments. I invite you to open your eyes. Rosa Parks was born in Alabama in 1913. She was raised by grandparents who had both been enslaved. Her grandfather often sat on the porch at night with a rifle, making it known that their house would not be an easy target. Rosa would often sit on the porch with him, and she learned from him to stand her ground. When she met Raymond Parks at age 18, she fell in love with him partly because of his commitment to protecting his people. And that included organizing with the NAACP, but it also meant that he was always armed. Rosa Parks soon joined the NAACP herself. And during the 1940s, she became a lead investigator of racial violence in Alabama. She took great risks trekking down isolated, dusty roads in rural areas in the South, interviewing survivors and witnesses of racial assaults. This work could have easily put her in the crosshairs of violent white men who were used to engaging in racial violence with impunity. In response to the rape of a young black woman named Reese Taylor, Rosa Parks helped to develop a national campaign that brought national attention to the widespread terrors of sexual violence against black women. The nationwide contacts that Rosa Parks developed through that campaign later became a crucial source of outside support during the Montgomery bus boycott. A good reminder that the actions that we take today also lay foundations for future actions. As an investigator of racial violence, Rosa Parks understood the specific dangers posed by segregated buses. Buses were especially intense spaces of segregation, given that people were packed together in a small space from which they could not easily leave. These were spaces where black women would often be harassed or worse, and where black men would often be emasculated through facing threats of violence if they tried to do anything to stop it. Now, Rosa was also deeply aware of the violence that black people faced when they protested segregated transportation. During her years as an investigator, a number of black veterans and black women who were working on Montgomery's 2 Air Force bases refused to give up their seats. Some of them were arrested, some were beaten, some were raped, and some were even murdered for refusing to give up their seat. Rosa Parks would have personally investigated some of these instances, meaning that when she refused to give up her seat, she knew the risks that she was taking better than anybody. When the Supreme Court found that segregated schooling was unconstitutional in the Brown versus Board of Education ruling in 1954, Rosa Parks began working with some of her trusted comrades in Montgomery around a plan to challenge the constitutionality of segregated transportation as well. They knew it was just a matter of time before another black person refused to move from their seat and was arrested. They planned to use that arrest to then challenge the constitutionality of segregated busing, and they hoped to take that case all the way up to the Supreme Court. When a high school student named Claudette Colvin was arrested, they almost built a case around her. But some of the people in Rosa's circles worried that Claudette was too young. The person that they built a case around would be relentlessly attacked in the media, and more importantly, they would face constant death threats throughout the entire time that it took to work that case through the court system. Rosa's team wanted someone more battle-tested. And of course, that person ended up being Rosa Parks herself. Now, Rosa, I should say, believed personally in Claudette Colvin's capacities. And Rosa Parks was ready to stand behind that case with Claudette if she wanted to take this on. When the rest of her team decided not to, Rosa made sure to take Claudette Colvin under her wing, and she invited her into a leadership position in the youth chapter of the NAACP, which Rosa Parks ran. The team around Rosa Parks was behind the legal strategy to outlaw segregated busing, but it was a different group that mobilized the bus boycott itself. That was the Women's Political Council, led by Professor Joanne Robinson. The council saw the buses as specific sites of humiliation for black women in particular, and they had been planning a boycott for months. Also, like Rosa Parks and her team, just waiting for the right moment. Their planning included distribution routes for flyers to ensure that each of Montgomery's 50,000 black citizens would quickly receive word of the boycott when the right moment came. Within 24 hours of Rosa Parks' arrest, tens of thousands of black Montgomeryans would receive this message. You can literally imagine waking up in the morning and finding this on your doorstep. Yet another Negro woman has been arrested and thrown in jail because she refused to give up her seat on the bus for a white person. If we do not do something to stop these arrests, they will continue. The next time it may be you, or your daughter, or your mother. We are therefore asking every Negro to stay off the buses on Monday. And so began the Montgomery bus boycott, and with it, one of the most important social movements in all of U.S. history. As you can see, this history is woman-powered through and through. But once the movement began, patriarchal notions of leadership took over, and the leading voices of the movement then became the ministers. What's most wild to me about this erasure of female leadership is that the myth that so many of us were raised with, definitely including myself, about Rosa Parks just being too tired after a long day of work. What's most wild to me is that that myth comes from the movement itself. Erasing Rosa Parks' radical activism and portraying her as just a hard-working Christian woman was part of the movement's effort to turn Rosa Parks into a symbol that could elicit the broadest possible sympathy. The story I've told today is just the tip of the iceberg of Rosa Parks' activism. We could talk for hours about her life in Detroit after the Montgomery bus boycott, where she became close to Malcolm X. We could talk about her mentorship in Detroit of Black Power activists. We could talk about her years of work with Congressman John Conyers tackling systemic racism. However, I'd like to close this talk by focusing on a few lessons from Rosa's life that contributed to the launching of the civil rights movement and that I see as applying to our current moment, in which so many of us are looking for ways to take action. First, I'd like to return to how we opened with song. Singing together was an essential ingredient in the civil rights movement. The things that we do to keep our spirits strong and that help us build community deserve just as much attention as planning actions or coming up with strategies. Black people of Rosa Parks' generation often talked about making a way out of no way. That is a powerful teaching about hope, that you can chart a path forward through seemingly impossible conditions. But doing so requires practices of self-care, joy, building community, and a very intentional cultivation of togetherness. Second, laying foundations for future moments is a critical form of taking action in the present. Both the NAACP and the Women's Political Council had detailed plans of action in advance for when the right moment came. So, my friends, if you find yourself struggling with hope during this period that we are living through, please know that moments will arise that we can take advantage of if we are prepared. Third, the actions that you take today help lay foundations for the actions of tomorrow in ways that you cannot predict. Think back to that moment when Rosa Parks was developing a national network as part of the consciousness-raising campaign against sexual violence against Black women. She could never have known that years later, that network could be mobilized for the Montgomery bus boycott. However, she almost certainly did know that whatever contacts she developed in the present could be put to use in the future. The skills that you build today, the knowledge that you gain, the community that you help to strengthen, all of that is meaningful in this present moment and also far beyond this present moment. Fourth, find your role and support other people in finding theirs as well. Rosa Parks had many roles. She was an investigator. She put her body on the line. She was a strategist. And she was also a mentor who affirmed and supported others in finding their role to play. The power of the movement that we need today depends entirely on the number of people who discover and embrace their role. And this means it is just as important to support others in discovering and strengthening their role as it is to discover and strengthen your own. For my fifth and final point, I'd like to turn our attention to three good friends who were closely observing the Montgomery bus boycott from all the way up in New York City. The world-renowned expert on nonviolent resistance, Bayard Rustin, one of the greatest grassroots organizers in all of U.S. history, Ella Baker, and a master of networking and fundraising, Stanley Levison. Together, these three friends poured their expertise into supporting every conceivable need of the Montgomery bus boycott, with the hope that this one local movement could be the spark to light a larger movement. These three master strategists spoke of creating mini Montgomerys. In other words, the civil rights movement. And so the final lesson is this: the mass movement that we need today to challenge rising authoritarianism in the United States will very likely be built on the strength of many local movements and many local organizing efforts that together coalesce into something larger. This means that whatever you can do to directly participate in local movements or to support local movements elsewhere that might really be in the thick of things, all of that is a contribution to a much bigger picture. I'll close by saying, may we each embrace our role in this moment. May we each help others to embrace their role as well. And may we all keep our spirits strong. Thank you.
Don't you wish you had had teachers like that? When you were struggling through history and those boring details of treaties? We gratefully acknowledge all who worked together on this service and those who shared readings. Thanks to all of you here and in the Zoom room who are sharing our service today. It's great to see you. Our Zoomers were Lynn Orlando, Ben Birch, Chris Fendrick, Eva Pedersen, Rochelle Towers, Jean Lieber, and Yamaguchi Dioguno. I'm sorry, I'm probably mangling your name. If you're not yet on our mailing list, it's possible to get on it. See Jeff. So I see a number of new people here today. This is lovely. So if folks would like to introduce themselves briefly, emphasis on briefly, please, some people like to do this and others don't. We always like to hear from you. And Christina's got a mic. I'm tempted to call on people, but I won't. You know who you are.
Hi. I'm a new person. I was here last night at your open mic festivities, and I saw the flyer for Rosa Parks, and I'm delighted. My name is Teresa Freeman. I've been around a long time, but I'm really glad to see us moving toward organizing and turning out for what's going on with the fascist takeover of our country, and certainly we can have no greater teacher than Rosa Parks, and we have no greater idols to follow than our heroes from the past. So I'm around for organizing, and I'm on your mailing list, so if you're going to do anything, let me know.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm here. I'm new to the Bay Area. I'm a longtime UU. I'm kind of a Lynn Burnett groupie, so that's what brings me here today. But I was also really curious about this place because I don't live far away, and it's nice to see you all.
Hi, my name is Chris, and it's perfect following you. I'm also a Lynn Burnett groupie. So here we are. So thank you, Lynn. Lucky enough to have known him for a while now.
And it's so wonderful to be here. My name is Diane, and I know Joanna from Coming to the Table. And I'm also a Lynn Burnett groupie. So I have two connections here. And just being in this energy with all of you all today has been so meaningful. And I hope there's a way that I was so profoundly moved by Lynn's talk that can be
Closer
shared,
to your mouth.
that can be shared with other people.
Yes, I'm another Diane, but I live in Dallas. I'm visiting. I may eventually move to the Bay Area, and I'm delighted to find this congregation and your approach to important issues. Thank you for a wonderful visit.
James, did you want to say something?
Hello, this is Joy Elmore. I am probably Lynn's first groupie because I'm his mother. And I'm delighted to be here today to participate in your meeting, to know that there are people here that believe in moving forward with freedom, with dignity, and with life. And I love Lynn.
I've known Lynn almost as long as she has. And this is my first visit to your church. It might not be the last. Thank you.
I'm James. I was born and raised in Berkeley, and I've been in this room probably 500 times as a dancer. And what I'm experiencing, and I went to Merritt College in 1967 when the Black Panthers came in and said, we can have our first Black Studies program here, or we will burn down the school. And nobody thought that that wouldn't happen. So with a little fire in the brain, that happened. Anyway, so this is very familiar to me, and my background is as a therapist and as an actor, so the world is all personalized within, and the social movements came and went. So this is refreshing as it is familiar. So thank you.
Welcome, James. There's some other people who first became acquainted with this space through other activities, and that's how we intend for it to be. Wow, I'm wishing I had some groupies now. So thank you all, and welcome to all who are with us today, in silence or with words, in person or in spirit. We will have more time to connect with each other after the service and in the days to come. Specifically, those days to come might well be next Sunday. Reverend Ben Myers will focus on how our values call us to live in the reality of heartbreak in our world, remembering that no one is outside the circle of love. How can we keep the circle and our hearts open when we may wish to close ranks? Special music by the choir and Reverend Ben. Now, Jeff, this...
Announcements. Let's see. We had a email from our friend Ben Birch on Zoom. He says, "My heart goes out to the thousands of government employees being unjustifiably smeared." And also, for those who got inspired today, today is the Global Day of Action to close military bases. Yes. There will be some cars leaving here at 1 o'clock to go to Travis Air Force Base for protesting with Code Pink and others. Some brave activists have been arrested there recently, but if you come, you need not risk arrest. You can, or you can avoid it. So it's up to you. I hope that you can join us. Thank you.
Mike, for her, please. Okay. I'll mention that there is an economic boycott on the 28th. We are encouraged not to spend any money that day unless absolutely necessary. And if so, try to spend with small businesses and minority-owned businesses.
Yeah, I have a quick announcement. Next week is the first Sunday of the month, so we're going to have our creative writing group on that Sunday. Just a heads up for anyone who's interested.
Thank you, Simone. So now, thank you. Great. Thank you. Now's the time when we share our responsibility for the home we're creating together. Our shared plate partner for February is the Transgender, Gender Variant, and Intersex Justice Project. It's San Francisco-based. It's a nonprofit. It's working to end human rights abuses against transgender, intersex, and gender variant people, particularly trans women of color in California prisons and detention centers. Please give generously to support BFUU and our shared plate partner. Don't we have offertory music, Andy?
Disorganized today.
offerings. To the work of this fellowship, which is creating beloved community within and beyond these walls, we dedicate ourselves and these our offerings. And the final hymn, please join the choir. Well, it's not a hymn. The final piece of sung music is If You Miss Me at the Back of the Bus, page 61 in the Rise Up Singing Book. It's time to extinguish our chalice. Please read with me the words in your order of service. We extinguish the flame of this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, or the energy of service. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. Thank you for joining us today. After the service, you're welcome to stay and enjoy a community, including my new brownie recipe. So for our final circle, please join hands around the hall, and we are singing, I'm on my way. For the benediction, I'd like to paraphrase Dr. Martin Luther King, who said, moving forward, fly if you can, and if you can't fly, run. And if you can't run, walk. And if you can't walk, crawl, but keep moving forward.